In this episode, I speak with two women who are carving their own lane in Ghana's creative spaces. Malaika, who moved from the UK to Ghana and started weaving across Africa, and Eunice Maku Nartey, who's a fashion designer that kept the legacy of the family's fashion business alive. One of the things I love about Ghana is pieces like this, handmade in Ghana's Upper East region. This is one of the things that makes being here so great, is being able to get things that are handcrafted by artisans. And today I'm going to be talking to a woman who has started a business that is really showcasing more of this, that my heart is just like, when I walked in this space, just like, oh, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. So I'm here at WA Studios, which stands for Weaving Across Africa. And the owner, her name is Malaika Asenso. And she is somebody who lived in the UK. Now she's in Ghana doing this amazing business, showcasing a piece of Africa, a piece of Ghana through textiles, through art, through fashion. So let's sit down and have a great conversation with her today. What a beautiful studio you have here.
Thank you.
It really, really is. I can feel the beauty and vibrancy of your personality, even just through looking at all of the things that you have here. Malaika, what brought you to Ghana?
Well, what brought us to Ghana, Ivy? I say us because we've actually relocated, my family and I. Mm-hmm. So I am a wife and a mother to two small boys.
How old are they?
4 and 14 months.
Oh, 14 months.
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
Yes, but in Ghana you get a lot of help, so I've been extremely, extremely grateful.
That's good. When you moved to Ghana, how old were the children?
When we moved to Ghana, my eldest son, Noah, he was still 4, mm-hmm. And my youngest, Micah, was 8 months.
Okay.
Yes, 8 months.
Okay. And how was the adjustment to come to this environment with 2 young kids?
A lot of planning, if I'm being honest with you. So me and my husband, we knew that we wanted to come to Ghana even when we first started dating, even before we even met. So me and my husband, we met at a wedding in 2017.
Okay.
And then of 2018, that's when we started dating. And it was through us just communicating and talking to each other, we realized that, okay, we both have a love and a passion for Ghana. And so in the year of 2019, my husband actually had a sabbatical for 6 months, and then I was meant to join him. And then through there, we're meant to navigate Ghana. But we actually found out that we were expecting our first son, Noah. And so it meant that we had to go back to the UK. And in 2020, we thought, oh, we're going to come to Ghana, of which we did. We did a trial period. But we quickly realised that the kind of lifestyle that we wanted to live in Ghana required a lot of financial planning. And it wasn't just a thing where we wanted to just use our savings, because the lifestyle that we wanted to live would mean that our savings would just literally all disappear within the first 2 years. Mm-hmm. And so we then knew that, okay, we need to go back home and really think, what is it that we're passionate about? What can we do that will generate a second stream of income for us as a family? So my husband, Henry, started Kura Africa. Mm-hmm. And I started, it was actually called Considered Room at first.
Considered Room at first?
Yes, Considered Room. Because I have a fashion and interior design background, I was creating and selling these baskets through the kind of eyes of interior design. But then after a little while, I kind of felt like I wanted to just kind of bring it back home. Mm-hmm. a bit. So then I started thinking, okay, what words could I use to rename the brand? And then I just thought of Weaving Across Africa. Mm-hmm. And then my husband was like, oh, you can shorten it to WA, of which we did. And then we found out there's a place in Ghana that's called WA as well. So it just kind of stuck that way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I've been doing this for 5 years now. And it's been an amazing business. I've been able to work with amazing artisans and an amazing team. And we've been able to branch out doing the bogler baskets, also the vintage kentés, because I'm a collector.
Yeah.
Also, so I collect a lot of vintage Ewe and Ashanti kentés, and I also love vintage Indian textiles. And a few embroidered textiles from Eastern European as well, Suzanis. And so because of that, and also because of me becoming a mum, it meant that I had to actually stop my day job because living in the UK, once you become a parent, childcare costs go up the roof. And so when we had our son in nursery, my husband and I realised that actually a lot of my salary was going also towards
Daycare.
the care. And so thankfully my husband earns what he earns, so he was able to provide for us fully as a family. And then I was able to just to focus on WA and having that income come in to support us as well. And yeah, just being a mum, being at home, being a homebody, I was really able to immerse myself in creating a home. And so I looked a lot towards the Ewe vintage textiles and what I could do with it. For example, cushions, having it as bedspreads. The Asafo flags were part of decor in our home. So it was all of that. So we had a very Ghanaian home, even though we lived in the UK.
Yeah.
And our home was like a Georgian townhouse, but it was filled of Ghanaian crafts and beautiful textiles.
So you moved to Ghana with two young children. What advice would you give somebody who's making the decision to make that kind of move? Because I get people who ask me about it, they want to come with their kids. And what is it like in Ghana? What do they have to know?
You really need to plan. You have to really, really plan and do a lot of research in regards to ask mums in Ghana about things like schooling, things like healthcare is really important. For example, we knew that we wanted to put our eldest son, who was 4, into school. And so we did a lot of research because Ghana, there are different types of grades when it comes to school. You can do community schools, you can have like a middle, point school, or you can go for the top end, which is like usually the international schools. And so initially, when we were looking at the schools, we were also looking at things like what are the teacher to student ratio, which is really important. Also, the area in which we were going to live in, we needed to make sure that our commute to our son's school was no longer than 15 minutes on Google Maps. I know you might look and think, oh, half an hour doesn't seem too bad to commute. I'll give you an example. There was a school in Jolu, because we're based in North Legon. We're currently living with my in-laws, and they live in North Legon. And there was a school in Jolu that we really liked the look of. And we felt like, okay, yeah, half an hour isn't bad. And when we actually made the commute, it took an hour just to get there. And then we realized that actually, no, it wouldn't be practical and it wouldn't be comfortable for either ourselves or our son to be having that commute day to day. So we then looked at schools within the North Legon area, and the furthest we were willing to travel out to was East Legon. And so our son goes to an international school in East Legon, and that commute is 14 minutes on a good day. On a bad day, it's half an hour.
Okay, that's good. Definitely things to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it's also good to understand the student to student ratio, what they're actually teaching the children, how are the lessons, broken up during the day. Also, I would say, if your child has any additional challenges, does the school have any SEND support there? And what are the additional costs for that SEND support? Those are things to factor in when you're looking for a school for your child. Also, I feel like Ghana's had a bad rap about, oh, there's not much to do for kids in Ghana. I think the complete and utter opposite. My son is thoroughly entertained with things to do after school, also during the weekends. I think Ghana is a lovely place to bring up children, and also because people here are really family orientated. Like in the UK, when we'd go to, like, for example, a theatre show, and my son would make noise, you'd have people in the audience turning around to shush us. Whereas we've gone to, like, the cinema, and my son has decided to get up and start running up and down in front of the screen, and everyone is okay with that. You know, Ghana, people are very family oriented and just really accommodating to children. And, you know, you'll get, even if you go into a public place and maybe your child might be acting up, you won't get like awful judgmental stares. Instead, you'll get an uncle or an auntie saying, "Hey, listen to your mother, listen to your father," you know, that kind of thing. And it's a real community spirit that I've found with Ghana, and it's made just having our boys here a very enjoyable experience. From the support to affordable childcare, that's been a game changer for us. Yeah, Ghana is amazing for children, but I will say, speak to parents who are living in Ghana with their children, who have been living in Ghana for a considerable amount of time, and, you know, look at the different ranges of schools and see which ones work for you. Is it a community school? Is it like a middle school, or is it a high-end school? Because all will have different attributes that they pass down onto your children, and you've got to ask yourselves, what do you want for your child? For example, we were looking at a community school in the beginning, but the community school that we were looking at, my son's classmates, the cohort would have been 6 girls. We felt like that wouldn't be right.
Bias for him.
Yeah, for him, because even when we went into the classroom, the girls were sitting down very quietly colouring in their colouring books, and my son literally came there, picked up the pack of colouring pencils and emptied it out on the table. So we just knew, okay, this is not the right environment. So it's important that you ask friends, family who've been in Ghana, who have kids. It's important to go into the schools with your children and see how they, you know, interact with the space and interact with the other children there. And, you know, speak to the teachers about their ratio in regards to teacher to child, and know which one works for you and your child.
And I love seeing all the textiles that you have here. And you mentioned that the vintage airwear. That's like one of my favorites, is the vintage airwear textiles. People hear a lot about the kente from the Ashanti region, but the Volta region kente, which they call kete, doesn't get as amplified as the Ashanti one. Where are you sourcing these vintage textiles? Because they're not common anymore.
So the amazing thing about Ghana is that you also have Northern Kente as well in the north. And so you have Northern Kente, you have Ashanti Kente, and you have Ewe Kente, which is based in the Volta region. The thing about Ghana is that we celebrate Ashanti Kente a lot. My mum's generation celebrate Ashanti Kente a lot. However, the Ewe Kente is celebrated not as much in Ghana by Ghanaians, but from the Westerners. So a lot of Europeans, a lot of Americans actually love Ewe Kente.
I love Ewe Kente.
Because of the colours, because of the freedom around the weaving. So for example, with Ashanti Kente, they're usually made because the chiefs have given instruction to the weavers that they want a particular piece made with these colours, and so those Ashanti weavers have to abide by the chief's criteria, for example. But with Ewe Kente, it's more freehand. Yes, you do have some chiefs there, but it's the weavers are given more freedom, so that's why you have a different array of colours. You can have teals, you can have beautiful like crimson reds and greens and different shades of greens, because Ewe Kente is usually known for the color green. But you have more freedom even with the motifs. So you may have like, I don't know, like an eagle or like a turkey, for example, or maybe like a key, a padlock and a key. The weavers are allowed to be more creative, whereas with Ashanti it's very strict and it's literally what the chiefs want. And so, yeah, I would say you can source your kentes from going to Kumasi. We source our kentes. I actually purchase a lot of and source a lot of Ewe kentes because I'm Ewe myself. And so we get ours from the Volta region. And also, if you're in Accra and you haven't got time to go out and source from the Volta region, I would say Uncle Akwesi.
Yes.
He is amazing. He's in the Arts Centre. And if you just haven't got the time, because it is also a very time-consuming process, going into a village, you have to ask permission by the chiefs to access some people's houses. And some families do sell off their kente due to maybe like financial burdens that they may have. And so they're happy to sell it. Sometimes you might even get a weaver themselves who have like a stack load of vintage kentes that they have made for people who may have not bought when they said they would buy.
And they just leave
They just leave it there. Or just some uncompleted bits of kente that they've weaved that you can purchase as well. So it's just about knowing what you can do in regards to sourcing them. Do you want to just go to the Arts Centre? That's completely fine. Or do you want to take a trip to the Volta or to Kumasi to try and source these kentes?
Yeah. And we're talking about the Ewe kentes for those watching. This is an example of some of the Ewe kentes that are behind us here.
This one here and this one here. Yeah.
This one is a vintage one for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is 1940s.
1940s.
This one is a 1960s.
1960s. Wow.
And then we've got some kentes behind us and even behind you.
This one.
This one.
I love this.
This one is a 1960s one. And the one behind
this one here. Oh, I love this.
Teal.
Love.
The teal. This is the 1960s. But this is just an example of the different types, and I can bring out a few pieces that we have to show you the different types of motifs and how creative Ewe weavers are allowed to be when producing these textiles.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So with everything that you're doing, you're also having you mentioned boga, the woven baskets. Yes. You have someone who does them for you.
Yes.
How did you?
Working with.
Yeah. How did you find him?
I found him in the Arts Centre. I found him at the Arts Centre. I was, the funny thing is, when I was actually at the Arts Centre with my husband, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do with our side hustles. So I knew I wanted to be in a business of buying and reselling, but it was what. I, at one point, thought shea butter, but shea butter is a very oversaturated market, and I didn't really feel like I could really have my stamp on it. Whereas the bulgur baskets really called out to me because you can, creativity comes from you. So you may see something, and a lot of the time how we work at WA is we look at the stuff that's already there in the market and we ask ourselves, how can we elevate this? So right now we're working with raffia, we're working with Kararia shells to really help elevate and make our products stand out. And our customers have been really, really happy with us doing that. So yeah.
Where are most of your customers?
America and the UK and parts of Europe.
Okay.
That's where our clientele mostly come from. And we sell online, and we also sell in person at the studio here. But a lot of our sales are online sales. Yeah.
I want to see one of the bags. Can you pass us one of the bags? We're going to get one of the bags in here so you can see what he's working on, or something else. Because I love seeing these hand-woven bags and with all the details and everything. It's pretty cool because, every part of Africa, we see the woven bags and it's like everybody has their own touch with how they do it. I've seen like some from Senegal and, you know, from Nigeria, and then here in Ghana. This one is okay, bring it in, bring it in. This one here is one of the ones with the cowrie shells. And then the raffia on the side.
The raffia on the side.
Yeah, this is really pretty.
Thank you.
And then there's another one here. It's a tiny one that does not have the cowrie shells for those who want something a little bit tinier. There's this cute little one here too. This one here, this cute little tiny one. I'm not a small bag person. I'm a big bag person. Anybody who's seen me around, I usually carry a big bag. So I probably lean towards this one. And then we have another one that is like bold color, make a statement with this bag. And these are all hand woven. You can get them at wastudio.com.
WaStudioGH.com.
Okay, wastudiogh.com, where you can place your order, shipping worldwide.
Yep. And free shipping, guys.
Free shipping.
Free shipping.
Free shipping.
Free shipping.
This one here. Ooh, I like that.
Thank you.
You see that? Bold colors, the raffia, leather handles, handmade. Now, one of the things that people often don't think about is, because we hear in fashion, we hear the word luxury often being thrown around. And when it comes to stuff from Africa, it's like Africa often gets left out of the luxury conversation. People will think about, you know, Louis Vuitton, they'll think about Chanel, they'll think about these high-end brands from Europe. And they often don't think about Africa. Yeah. But African artisans, the work they put into hand making some of this stuff is just like the couturiers.
Yeah, it's very labor intensive.
Yeah.
Baskets like these take days to make, days. It's something that I feel, like you say, we get overlooked, unfortunately. But honestly, the craftsmanship behind this, even one of my, for example, Vitus, when he explains to me how he actually makes these with, you know, the veta grass, you have to have, it's a thin piece of grass that you have to split in the middle to then start weaving. That is amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is amazing. And that takes skill. And so, yeah, I feel like, you know, we need, I think even as Africans, we need to, you know, promote the work that we do more and actually be proud about our craftsmanship here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
This is really very well done. Very well done. And he's back here working hard on another piece. So, what keeps you going? Because I know you're doing some really interesting pieces. I know that the fashion business can be very competitive. What is it that keeps you going?
I would say the support from my family, first of all, and then also just the support that I get from my artisans that work with me. I have an amazing team, and we talk and we literally share ideas, and we are able just to really create some amazing things. And, you know, one of the things that's been also a major help is the customers. They really help keep us afloat. We have Returnee with customers as well, so you build up that relationship, that rapport. And, you know, just being in Ghana as well has really helped just bring forth, you know, just creativity. And, you know, the ways that, you know, you walk down the street in Ghana and the mundane can be a source of inspiration just through the colours alone. Maybe someone's market stall colours.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be surprised. Ghanaians are very, very good with understanding colour combination, material combination. They're extremely sustainable in what they do through the household objects that we have. So it's just all of that. But, you know, it's just through my family and my friends, the customers, the team that I have of artisans that just help make what it is, really, to be honest. Yeah.
And I see that you also have hand-dyed textiles you use to make clothing as well. Are you the one who's doing the dyeing, or you have a team?
So I have a team. I have a team in the Volta, and they are actually based in the Volta, and they do boutique printing. So initially, when I first started, because of time, I thought, oh, let me buy the fabrics. But then there were certain colours that some of my customers said that they wanted. There was some kind of almost like crimson, borderline orange reds that one of my customers wanted for their boo. And so then I realized, I searched high and low in a fabric store to try and find it, couldn't find it. And then it just dawned on me, you know what, let's make this, let's create this. So I've actually also worked with a really talented designer called Nakoi, who does tie-dye, and she's all about sustainable fashion. One of my shirts that I'm wearing right now is by her, and we worked together to create these fabrics that you can see here for our baboos, and also from some of the shirt dresses that we make as well.
Yeah. Now this space that we're in, it's a family space.
Yes.
You talked about how, you know, your aunt is also doing fashion, so you got to create your own space here for your own studio. How long has your family been working in the fashion business?
For a very, very, very long time. So the house that we're currently in now is my grandmother's family home. So downstairs I have my uncle Ralph, who was the last of the 9 siblings who are still alive to date. So he is downstairs, and upstairs has been divided between my mum and her sisters. But my mum and her sisters have all relocated to the UK, and they live in the UK. But my Auntie Maku was one of the sisters that actually stayed in Ghana. And my grandma used to run her seamstressing business through here. And my Auntie Maku has continued on the legacy and the tradition. And so when my mum knew that me and my family wanted to move back to Ghana, my mum knows that I've been, you know, selling the vintage kentes and making the bogler baskets, but that's all been shipped from the UK. So mum said, okay, why don't you look into having a base also in Adabaka? She let my auntie know. My auntie was thrilled with the idea. She was
Of course, she's happy.
Happy to have her niece. And so, we were given this space. Initially, when it started, it was completely empty. It was just white walls. And we've just literally brought in bits of furniture from the UK. We've also made our tables and our stools with the local artisans here. All the shelving, all the racks have been put in by local Ghanaians and their craftsmanship. All the paint work here as well, a local artist. So it's been amazing. And I mean, my auntie has been running her business for 30 plus years now. And I imagine my grandmother for more than that. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then you also got the Asafo flags here.
Yes.
It just popped in my mind when I looked up there and saw one of the flags. What are the Asafo flags for somebody watching who doesn't know? I know what it is, but I want you to talk about what it is.
So Asafo flags, so first of all, Asafo means war people or war folk. And initially, the Asafo flags were military bases. And they are for the Fanti people of Ghana. So with the invasion of Europeans in the 17th century, the Asafo flag companies were actually there to help kind of fight off the invasion. But with the European influence, it became a thing where Asafo flags were made for military purposes. As the years have gone down into the time that we're in now, Asafo flags are culturally recognized. So they're almost like symbolic and ceremonial flags for funerals, for festivals, that, get, waved around as a form of celebration. And the military houses, so for example, you have Asafo Flag Company 1, Asafo Flag Company 2, Asafo Flag Company 3, for example. From those spaces, what they do during the festivals is that they may have competitions, and then it's for whichever Asafo flag house wins, they are then the winner and the waver of the flag for a festival, for example. And these are like competitions that they do within the communities themselves. But the Asafo flags, what's amazing about them is that they are hand stitched. You have two types. And so it's important, especially if you're a collector, for example, like me. I am a collector first, with the kente and collector first and the Asafo flags. And so a lot of people don't know that there are two types of Asafo flags. There are some Asafo flags that are very rare with the Union Jack flag on. So you have to be very careful because now sometimes Asafo flag weavers may put a Union Jack on their Asafo flag, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it was from
that time.
From that time. So, for example, you might get an Asafo flag, and if you do get an Asafo flag with the Union Jack, know that it was most probably hand stitched together before 1957, before Ghana gained their independence. Now Ghana has gained their independence. Majority of Asafo flags are now with the Ghanaian flag. And also you need to look out for, when it comes to the authenticity of your Asafo flag, is it hand stitched or is it sewn, machine sewn, stitched? That's a good way to identify if it was made before 1957 or after 1957. Also, looking at the phrase on the end of your Asafo flag, if they're quite thick, know that they were most probably made after 1957. If they are very, very thin, I've got an example that I can show you and your viewers. If they are quite thin, know that it was most probably made before. So there are things to really look out for the authenticity of these pieces, but you should always try and aim for hand-stitched, appliqued and embroidered Asafo flag.
Okay, wow, okay.
Yeah, but also Asafo flags have a lot of folk tales through the imagery of
they all have stories
all
behind
have
them.
stories, all have meanings.
Yeah. Are you able to tell the stories of the ones that are around here? One of them at least.
One of them at least. I know the one over there is many faces, so be aware. This one is like a warning. Be aware of people with many faces, so people who may present one way, but they might be an enemy behind that.
Okay.
So that's many faces, Asafo flag.
Okay.
And this one here is...
That one has a Union Jack on it.
It has the Union Jack on it, but I believe that's actually a newer piece.
Okay.
I've got one that's an older piece that I can show you. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah.
When it comes to sourcing your vintage textiles.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about doing this?
Oh, I love textiles. I just love how they can transform a space. And so for me, it's more of like an interior design background. So I love just the colors, the different motifs. I'm a collector. My husband thinks I'm crazy, but I'm a collector. And even my private collection, I do sell some in my private collection, but it's not with ease, if that makes sense. And, you know, these are our history. These are our culture. And, you know, at times we don't value, we don't appreciate. Sometimes we don't even know. You know, when I first started collecting these vintage textiles, you know, one of my aunties did say, oh, this is not kente. Because what she's used to is kente that is now made by the Ashantis. That is the very heavy cotton, you know, with the gold and red and green threads. Yeah. Whereas the kente that I was collecting, the vintage, was lightweight, breathable, different colors, different motifs. And so it was actually, for the person who said it was my mother-in-law. She is a collector of kente, and she knows a lot about kente, but the newer kente. And it was for her mother, who is my grandmother-in-law, to tell her, actually, no, this is kente, but this is kente that was made, in the 1940s and the 1960s. And so if you don't know, and if you've grown up seeing this form of kente, you won't know that that is part of your history as well. And so it's for us to know and really celebrate and honor and really love and respect what we have had going on, because a lot of my mum's generation sees like vintage kente as rags. But then when I tell them how much these things sell for in the Western world, they are gobsmacked. They are gobsmacked, because these can go for tens to like thousands of pounds.
And that speaks volumes to one of the challenges in Ghana and in other African countries, where the local people don't appreciate their own thing, and someone else does and places more value on it than we do here ourselves. Because thousands of pounds.
Because also you're not going to get the same thread.
No, you're not, because these are old.
And kente, some of it was made with silk, some of it made with silk cotton, and it's very, very expensive to buy those things. And so
Well, thank you for showing us your space.
Oh, no problem.
This has been beautiful. We'll take a look around at some of the pieces.
All right.
Let's do that right now.
Sure.
After having a great conversation with Malaika, I took a moment to try on a dress made by her aunt, who was a fashion designer working in the same space. And of course, this dress paired with this perfect purse by Wa Studios looked fabulous. Now let's go and check out the conversation I had with Auntie Maku. We are here with Auntie Maku.
Wow, nice meeting.
Yes, you as well. I'm going to give you a hug. You've been doing this for over 30 years.
More than 30 years
Yes.
now. Then I actually started about 1993. And that's how I started. I started with sewing for ladies at the GBC, Ghana Broadcasting.
Oh, you sold clothes for the ladies on TV.
And then when I sew for them, they are on telly, especially Barbara Sam, now Barbara Gazy. When she wears her clothes on telly, then everybody asks,
where did you get it?
That's for you. And then she says, Eunice. So they've been coming here. I was sewing for Beatrice Edu and all of them those days. And then gradually it's turning on, and then there are a whole lot left. Then another batch. It's like, and now I was training girls too as well. So that's how it started. Training the ladies, the young ladies. I used to have a lot of ladies.
How old were you when you first started sewing?
22 years.
Okay. And who taught you?
My mom.
Okay.
And then, after college, like I told you, after Accra High School, I did a little bit at Cabs. That's a singer. I did the embroidery. Then I went to the UK. My sister invited me.
Okay.
I stayed with her for a year. I went to Blake College for 6 months. And then I got a job at Army and Navy.
In the UK?
In the UK. So I was sewing. But then I need to come home. My mom wasn't feeling well.
Okay.
So I have to come. And then that time my sisters too are married. So but when I got home and my mom said, no, I want you to continue this work.
Because your mother was doing this business.
She wasn't into it like a business, but then doing it at home.
Okay.
And this is their family house. And she said to Maku, I'm not going to rent that place to anybody. I want you to start. Because looking at me, she told me, everybody is gone. And it's only you around me. It's not easy. If something happens to me, your sisters are outside. They have to take a plane before coming. So it's going to be a lot of things. They wouldn't come and meet me, but it's you. So try. So she was rather convincing me after I've come back. Like I wanted to go back, Like, I realized that I used to buy, when I get paid, I go to Deminams, just buying shoes, like a couple of shoes, sales in the sales, and then I felt like, oh, this is money.
Yeah.
But when I started, you saw at times people wouldn't pay. They won't come and collect their things. This kind of things really put me off. But my mom really encouraged me. She said, Maku, no, do it. Anything that somebody gives you, just sew it and put it down. At any time, they will come. At the right time, they will come. So I started doing that. So that's really, my mommy encouraged me to continue. You know, so I was like, this is my business. I have to continue. So I started, and then I joined AGI. I started going to their workshops,
the meetings and everything,
and that kind of thing. And then I'm growing, meeting more people, discussing our problems. So we discuss everything, and it's really helpful, you know, doing this much, going out and knowing more people and all this kind of thing. So like, it's the word of mouth. People just tell me come, and then they call a friend, and they call a friend, and
you know, word of mouth is some of the best when it comes to business, though. Because if you've done well, and other people tell other people to come, and they come.
People and coming. So at times when I'm broke, you know, I don't have anything, and all of a sudden, then somebody comes and then bring more, you know, and there's, you know, what I normally do is, I used to do patchwork. I like patchwork when I went here. So I started doing this kind of patchwork, and then I'll make some bags with my patchwork and then put it down. So when they come and they collect their clothes, they want
see
this.
The bag.
I want this.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was all over. And then I had friends too, a lady from Côte d'Ivoire. They were living in the next house. They used to go to Alliance Francaise. That time it was at UTC Accra.
Okay.
So they were having a hostel. They live in that hostel. In that house, they rented it. So one of them saw me, and I because I'm really, at that time, I like wearing beautiful clothes. So she followed me one day, and she said, I like your clothes. Are you the one making? I said, yes. So she also came here, and she brought her friends. So my clients were Côte d'Ivoire, people from Guinea, Togo.
International.
All over. And I was really, you know, seeing all this. And what I normally do is I take you like a sister, I will relate to you and become a sister. So all the time, they all want to come and visit me. Anytime they are coming to see Maku, I'm going. And that time too, we don't have wooden. It was at Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
And because they are students, they will buy the fabric. When they
will buy the fabric in Côte d'Ivoire.
And come and give it to me. And I also sell to my clients. So it was like give and take. And that time, Mom was alive. She said, normally every Christmas, she said, Maku, you have to paint the house where we live. So I said, okay, I'm going to buy the paint from Coral. So as I was going, a gentleman saw me and he said, hello, lady. Then, you know, like, who are you? And he said, oh, I like your fabric. So I thought it was somebody who was trying to, you know, play around with me. Then I said, what is it? He said, oh, I like your fabric, but I had a friend in the US who wanted me to get some of batik, and I'm wondering where I could get it. So I told her, oh, no, I've been buying from a lady called Beth Dove and Auntie Esther. I used to buy from them. So he said, okay, I would love to see this place. So I took him he came here the following day. I took him to the place to buy the fabric. He saw the lady, and then we bought some and went back. So when he went, I made some shirts and some skirts for him. So he took it to the lady, and then the lady said he wanted to see me. So he also, she came. That was Sharon. It's a long story. At times I forget about all these things. Sharon also came with her stuff. So when she came, she liked what I've been doing, the little bags. So she was doing it. And anytime she comes, I will sit down with her. We will discuss what she wants to do. And then she'll just give me all the money. I go with her to Mokola, and then we buy the fabrics. And then we're using ATL, and then the prices started going. Any year that she comes, the price started going. And later, then she said, Eunice, things are so expensive. If I should ship all these things, she does it in bulk, actually. So she said, if I should ship all this, it's very expensive. I can't even sell it. So now she's going to Guatemala to get it cheaper. That's what she started doing.
Guatemala.
Oh,
wow.
She started there too. So that was how she started drifting away. And then when, somebody goes, another one comes. That's how
So you've been having great business for a long time. You're still working today. You're working on something right now. Let's talk about what you're working on. Let's see what you're working on right now. I see a sleeve.
This one too is an old customer from the US.
Okay.
And I was just, I normally go to Facebook and do some funny things because at times I want to be seen,
You have to. You post your stuff online so people can see. Yes.
The work is so tedious. I like doing it myself. And this young ones coming, they don't want to learn the trade, so they don't give you quality work. So I just like a few people.
Yeah.
At first I used to have a lot and then problems so much. So now I've made up my mind. I'm growing.
Few people, yeah.
Just a few people. I'll do it myself and then satisfy my customers.
Okay.
So that is what I do. I do not do it too large.
But I see the textiles here look a little bit more vintage kind of feel.
She said, she called me long time. That time, Nanaja was about 5 years old. I used to see her when she comes. I meet her at La Padi Beach Hotel. I went see her with my thing in my suitcase. She buy, and then she called me. One of her friends saw me on Facebook, and she told me her friend is coming. Because when I knew them, they are old. So I was wondering. I'm even saying that this woman used to be. She said she was 70 years, but now Nanaja is adding her age. This man will be very mature, So, so I was really surprised. So she sent a message to her cousin here. He's in Ghana. He's now living in Ghana. So he told him to call me. So he called me and said, Dr. Grasti is coming. Try and come and see her. I said, do you open? That was May Day. The things that she wanted, and I realized she was still young. I don't know. She's about 80 plus. So I was like, she wanted all this kind of stuff. So I said, okay, let me
work on it for her.
I went with Nanaja. So as we were talking, she was also writing.
Right.
She was also wearing some few things. She said she likes it. So when people go, they always remember you. It's all over. My friend too in Brazil, she was living here. And they were all coming. That kind of, I feel so blessed.
You are. That speaks a testament to the kind of work you do.
Yes.
That all these people, word of mouth, are coming to you.
Word of mouth.
You were doing all your designs all these years. You even did clothes for fashion shows. We know right now people love going to fashion weeks and everything in Ghana. But you were doing it. You were doing it a long time ago.
I did it long time ago. But then,
you have a picture.
When was that? I did some in 2020 something.
Yeah, but this one is from when?
This one is 93.
1993.
93.
You can still wear this now.
1993. Yeah.
Which, do you remember where this was? Was it at one of the hotels? Novotel. Now that's a Cross City Hotel.
Yeah. Novotel.
But this is nice.
And I was a second runner-up.
You were the second runner-up. So it was a competition for the design.
Competition.
Wow, that is really cool. Do you do shows anymore, or now you just focus on the clients? Focus on the client. So if a lot of people come to Ghana from the diaspora and they reach out to me, they ask me where they can get clothes made and all that stuff, they should contact you.
Oh, yes. Yes, they should.
Yes, how can they reach you?
When they go to Instagram, I'm there.
She's on Instagram.
Eunimak _Fashion.
She's on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, find her on Instagram. Get some stuff made when you come to Ghana, or buy some of the pieces that are already made, because there's like racks of clothes here that you can buy that are part of her collection, or you can come and get measured and then she can make something for you custom. But make sure if you're coming to Ghana, what I tell a lot of travelers when they come is, let's say you're staying for 3 weeks or a month. On like the first or second day, go and get your measurements.
Yes.
And then while you're doing your traveling and everything, then you come back to check if it's fitting okay one last time. Then when you're leaving, you pick it up to go. That's the best thing to do.
That's what I'm doing now. Because when I tell you this day, come, this done. If I know I can't do it,
you see, that's what you need, because there's so many times that we get stuff made and they don't finish on time.
My mom used to do that. She doesn't play with her time.
Oh, that's good.
So, you know, at times when I go to meetings, when we go to AGI, those kind of days when I used to go, I go on time. And my friends ask me, you cry, what do you do? You know, because my mom doesn't play with her time. We start 3 o'clock here.
That's good. That's good.
That's your grandma. That's what she does. Mommy.
That's good, because
that's that kind of training. I have it.
Good,
you know,
because
when it's 3 o'clock, I'm there.
That's good, because there's too many who are late. I had somebody that I had make something for me, and the person was coming to the airport saying, "Madam, I have your thing." I'm like, I'm now leaving. I'm at the airport leaving, and now you're chasing me to bring me. I'm like, I can't even try it on to see if it fits properly, to fix it, you know. So we have a bad reputation here in Ghana of a lot of people who don't meet timelines.
People that you trust.
Yes,
is the best.
And come and trust her.
You know,
she'll be on time. This has been a really exciting episode. I loved it. I absolutely loved every little bit of it, because I mean, I'm a fashion girl. I've always loved fashion, and I have a strong appreciation for the textiles, the beauty of the weaving that we have here in Ghana. So check out WA Studio GH on Instagram so you can get more information, and also the website wastudiogh.com so that you can place your order today. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, I also have memberships available here on YouTube. Click the link that is in the description for more information. Also, the link for the website for WA Studios will also be in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.